Today on Treasure Hunting America, we'll meet Norma Larson, a woman who didn't pick up metal detecting until she was 70 years old.
I love doing what I'm doing. I ain't afraid to get my hands dirty. And what you find is always exciting to me. No matter if it's junk, you always want to dig it. And I dig everything.
Then we'll meet Steve Kelly of New York City, who's been finding ancient Roman coins buried in the nation's largest city.
New York's pretty old. It's been here a long time. A lot of the buildings you see now were little villages, or maybe there was just a house where 6 blocks span now. I was in my yard, I was just trying a machine out. I couldn't even believe it. I found colonial buttons.
And finally, we'll talk with Nelson Jecas, a Greek-American who's using his profession to find treasure below the surface of the Atlantic.
I figured there's more artifacts in the ocean than on the land. I did make a lot of nice finds. It's like finding a time capsule.
All coming up on Treasure Hunting America. Hello and welcome to another episode of Treasure Hunting America. I'm your host, Mark Hendricks. For the next half hour, we'll share some amazing stories of everyday treasure hunters across the country. At 70 years old, Norma Larson didn't expect to get into treasure hunting, but after finding a 1793 coin on her own farm in upstate New York, she was hooked.
My husband passed away, it'll be 5 years this year, and I was depressed. But after I bought the metal detector, I seemed like I got real well quick, because I got out in the field and got away from all the pressures and you don't think about nothing when you're in the field metal detecting but what you're doing. Your troubles are all gone. And when I went to the doctor, she told me, "What are you doing to get your health back?" And I told her I took a new hobby up, and she says, "Good medicine." And I got all better, and I'm in perfect health now. What kept me going is finding stuff that was real old and very interesting. To think about how people lived years ago compared to the times now. It's just fascinating. I walked down this driveway right here, and that's where I found that first coin laying right on top of the ground back 1790 something. After that, we found lots of them here, all different. Dates onto it, buckles of all kinds. Old stuff, real old stuff. This is the first coin that I found on my property when I walked into the driveway. It was laying right on top of the ground. This is an 1805 large cent. It was also found on this property. This is a large cent. It's 1810 Colonial, and it's found on this property too. I keep the valuable things that I think are really the best value. The other stuff, if it's not in the greatest shape, I get rid of it, I sell it. Dug enough stuff and found enough stuff and sold has made me some side money. I love doing what I'm doing. I ain't afraid to get my hands dirty. And what you find is always exciting to me. I don't care what it is. If that machine goes off and tells, you always want to find out what is in there. No matter if it's junk, you always want to dig it. And I dig everything. A lot of people don't, but I dig everything because it paid off for me by doing that. That's why I keep on doing it. And I will as long as I can walk. I will, because I just love it. I love doing it. Fact is, something right there. Hear it? See? Looks like a nail. And it's down about 8 inches. Right there. Sounds like it. That's what it is. Well, it looks like a hook of some kind. Eh? Sometimes they have a hook like that, you drive it there and it just slides in. You don't like that.
When we return, Norma Larson will show us why hunting in your own backyard is so worthwhile. And we'll meet New York's favorite treasure hunter, Steve Kelly. After finding her 1793 colonial coin on her own property, Norma did additional research on her property and found some very surprising information.
The house was 250 years old when I come here in 1963. I figured it was just an old farmhouse, but to look at it, you wouldn't even think it was a store until I went over to the museum and they had pictures of it over there. For one thing, being a store and having the troops all go through here, they naturally would have stuff around. I figured it was a good spot, a really good spot. If you want to find stuff, you look in your own backyard, because that's where a lot of it is, yeah? And people's never looked there. These are some things that I found on my property here. These are bedroll buckles that the troops used to wrap their stuff in and pack. These are the buckles that they have on their uniforms there. Some of them, this is a waist buckle that goes around the waist here. These here, the buttons here, are the ones that goes down the uniforms, down the sides. And there's some musket balls that I found here.
With so few years into this hobby and having found so much, there's one item she remains on the lookout for, something that's very unique.
My one desire is to find a George Washington button. Really is. I want to find one of them, and they're worth a lot of money. Yeah. But I just would like to have it for a keepsake for myself. Yeah. For the time era and stuff. I think I've found an extra lot for the time that I've been there. You know, there's people that's hunted for years haven't found as much as I've found. You know what I mean? It's not over yet. Yeah.